Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be exploring the rumor that Internet Computer is secretly building for Binance. Is this true? Is this going to bring massive adoption and use cases to the Internet Computer from the likes of the largest crypto exchange and payment network in the world, BNB and Binance? Well, in today's video, we're going to be exploring, remember, this is just a rumor, this is highly speculative, and I have no inside information that this is or is not happening. I'm just going based on rumors like this. One user in the Internet Computer ecosystem said this: if you want to know exactly what CZ, the founder of Binance, wants from Dominic, the founder of Internet Computer, for Binance, watch from the 15-minute mark. Now, we're going to watch this video in just a minute, where Dominic was interviewed about AI, but is in response to this tweet from CZ. It says, AI companion is a big and growing field. Users are willing to pay too. Let's bring them to crypto, or vice versa. Now, by the way, this is the Cryptoviser podcast. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also, give this video a free thumbs up. We upload every single day to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. We cover Internet Computer quite often because you guys know Internet Computer is looking and trying to become the world computer. And in today's video, we're going to be exploring the rumor mill of whether they're building secretly for Binance. Now, we've covered artificial intelligence on the Internet Computer. We've covered the fact that they've been working on AI agents and the ability to build your own AI agents, deploy it to the Internet Computer. And the Internet Computer can actually host things which a lot of other blockchains cannot do. Because while other blockchains are built for kind of financial transactions and smart contracts, Internet Computer is trying to become the world computer, the world's cloud compute ecosystem from a decentralized standpoint, and not centralized like Amazon Web Service or Google Cloud. A lot of people don't even realize that a lot of crypto, especially the staking ecosystems, these live within these centralized cloud services like Amazon Web Service or Google Cloud. And so you may think you're on a decentralized network, but the decentralized network is being run on top of infrastructure from a centralized network. And obviously that can run into quite a bit of problems. And so the Internet Computer is trying to build a decentralized ecosystem where there is no central company. I mean, obviously there's going to be developers that control the entire system and companies that build within it. But the actual ecosystem itself is built of data centers. And obviously we've been seeing data centers and energy becoming a big story, especially here in the US as the US ramps up its AI development and AI infrastructure. That way, the US can hopefully stay at the leading edge of this kind of technology from a global perspective. But outside the US, you have a lot of other countries and businesses that don't have the the infrastructure or the money to do what the US is doing. And so having these other systems available where you, let's say, for instance, you're in a sanctioned country. I mean, this happened during the last administration where I think it was Iran or Iraq, developers were cut off from Amazon Web Service. So if you were a developer building, things on whatever one of these cloud service providers, you immediately had your access cut off and all your projects and all your money just completely wiped out. And obviously on a global stage, that doesn't really work as a global network. And that's kind of where what I see kind of Internet Computer kind of being able to step in so that they can be jurisdiction specific, which they're doing with data compliance laws in Europe and US, while still giving access to other areas throughout the world. So that's kind of like the general theme of that. But yeah, so there's a lot of discussion of whether basically they're building for Binance, because Binance is definitely going to be investing in AI capabilities, right? Probably AI infrastructure as well. Remember what I always talk about. I believe personally that the infrastructure play is the best bet, right? Because picks and shovels for the gold rush. People who sold those picks and shovels made more money than a lot of the gold miners themselves. because they were the infrastructure play. That's the Coinbases of the world, the Bitcoin ETFs of the world, things like that. And so there's other kind of hints here and there before we get to the actual video, listening to Dominic and what he talks about with AI and kind of this video is, by the way, from 2024, so it's a year aged, and we know that there's been a lot of advancements already. But this gives you an insight into what they're building for and how much of a longer time horizon they have. Because again, if CZ is looking for that now, Dominic and Dfinity have been working on this for multiple years now. So some of the other things that people brought up was this. This was a Binance article with an interview between Binance News and Internet Computer officials about the caffeine AI rollout. Personally, I don't think that this is any connection whatsoever. I think it was just an interview about some of this new technology and capabilities. We also saw this, that Dfinity, at the end of August, right? So just a few weeks before I'm recording this video, Dfinity announced a significant milestone for the Internet Computer. That basically they increased a 100% increase in replicated state capacity. This upgrade raises the total network storage to 94 terabits, and it's designed to enhance scalability for large-scale decentralized apps and complex workloads. And effectively, this is what we've been hearing, right, with the rollout of these vibe coding AI large language models that can code programs and apps and all of this that are going to be deployed on the Internet Computer. The Internet Computer needs more storage space to be able to hold all of that information within those smart contracts, within the dApp coding and stuff like that. And so there's been a lot of kind of infrastructure upgrades over the last, I would say, year or so within Internet Computer ecosystem. One of the other things that we've highlighted on this channel specifically was if you go to the Internet Computer dashboard, we were seeing massive upgrades to many different things within the Internet Computer's ecosystem, namely their subnets or their data center and node operations. This is what powers the network. This is where the nodes validate information, store information, keep everything safe and secure on this world computer. And so we've seen an expansion. We've seen a reorganization in 2025 of the subnets. We've seen an increase in nodes, data center owners, node providers, and subnets pretty much across the board, with more and more node operations opening up pretty much around the planet. I think without Antarctica, but pretty much every other continent is covered by at least one node and data center, which you guys can see here on the Internet Computer dashboard map. And so we've seen a huge increase, right? A doubling of the storage capacity, an increase of the usage, the bandwidth of transactions per second significantly increasing, and more. Now, we're going to get back to this in just a minute, but this is two major upgrades for HTTP outcalls that were just upgraded in August. And effectively, they said, we're thrilled to announce two major extensions for Canister Smart Contracts HTTPS outcalls that significantly expand the power and flexibility of the Internet Computer. And by the way, HTTPS outcalls is connecting this Web 3 with Web 2, right? Or even Web 4 with Web 3 and Web 2. So you can connect the entire web. IP version 4 support is here. The wait is over. Canister smart contracts can now make HTTPS outcalls to services hosted on both IPv6 and IPv4 addresses. This is how that works. We're not going to go through the whole mechanism. This channel is not about coding or it's really just about analysis and kind of high-level investability or not investable. And so they have an experiential non-replicated outcalls. If you don't know what that is, me neither. But yeah, so this is definitely some big upgrades in terms of the compatibility between Web 3 and Web 2. And that's also what CZ is talking about here, right? AI companions are a big and growing field. Users are willing to pay too. Let's bring them to crypto or vice versa. Now, that brings us to the interview with Dominic from 2024, basically a year ago. This was in August of 2024. And this is what they were working towards. And now, a year and some later, we're actually seeing those things getting deployed and used within the internet computer. Let's listen in to Dominic in this interview. And by the way, don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss a new video. If you want to see this whole interview in full, you can find it on Dfinity's YouTube page, and this is the title on the bottom of the screen. Let's listen to Dominic.
Contracts, because people are going to need these guarantees that they can't be hacked, and they're always going to be available.
All right, I'd love to look at another example that you touched on earlier from specifically the Web3 side of things, and that's sort of in the form of the smart wallet, right?
Yeah, so Web3, has the same kind of concerns that the lawyers do, first of all, and they don't want their AIs to be hacked and the data exfiltrated, and they want them always to be available, especially if they're being used in conjunction with other smart contracts. But they have this, Web3 has this additional need for autonomy. So, imagine a smart wallet. So on the internet computer, a smart contract can be a wallet, right? Because it's a multi-chain wallet, because it's able to hold tokens on different chains using something called chain key. And smart contracts on the internet computer can process web. So they can, create a web experience, and the user can interact directly with them through a web browser once they've authenticated to them. So you can see this kind of thing at oisy.com, oisy.com. That's an example of a smart contract wallet. Now, in the future, something like Oisy might have an AI embedded, right? Because it's just a smart contract. So therefore, it can have an AI model inside. And this will mean that you can be on the beach, right? And pick up your phone and speak to your smart wallet. And you'll be able to say something like, cancel all previous instructions. If Bitcoin hits $100,000, sell half for USDC. If ETH falls 10% in a day, buy, $500 worth. And every night, buy $100 worth of ICP or something like that. And this is going to be very, very cool because your wallet's going to have intelligence. It's going to be like your personal broker. But to make this work, you need autonomy.
Now I'm going to pause here for a quick second, because going back to what CZ was talking about, right? Internet computer covers all of these bases, right? Most other cryptos they do one thing very well or two things very well, but they can't do many things very well. And when you're talking about the blockchain of the future, the blockchain that can do many different things, it needs to be able to compute. And this is the difference between internet computer and many of these other ecosystems, is that internet computer has the capability to compute. It has the storage capability to compute. It has the bandwidth to do it, the speed to do it, the programmability to do it. Many of these other ecosystems cannot. And then you add in the AI component and the connectivity to multiple different ecosystems within internet computer using chain key cryptography, and the fact that chain key cryptography, the interoperability feature of internet computer, can actually connect to other chains, and not only connect to other chains, but also read and write on those other chains, because of these smart contracts are effectively their own autonomous agents within the internet computer if it's programmed that way, right? And so that's the difference between a smart contract on internet computer and a smart contract on Ethereum. Ethereum is like strictly financial. And a smart contract on internet computer can do a lot more because it has the compute capabilities and the back end of this entire compute network, versus a validator saying, well, is this true? Yes. Okay, pay. Does this wallet have this money? Yes, then pay, right? You're able to interact with the AI that can then interact with the internet computer ecosystem that then can interact with the rest of blockchain, on-chain and off-chain type of transactions, because of the chain key cryptography ability. Right now, there's about 500 Bitcoin that's currently locked in internet computers ecosystem or interoperability feature called chain key cryptography and connected to Bitcoin DeFi. And so this is effectively what CZ is talking about, right? Bringing users to crypto and bringing crypto to users who are utilizing AI. So AI using crypto and crypto using AI. And right now, internet computer is the only one. I mean, we have other ecosystems like Fetch AI and Hedera that are utilizing internet computers capabilities because their networks cannot do that. And so are we getting hints from CZ that they're going to be using the internet computer ecosystem? Let's continue listening to Dominic. And remember, this is from a year ago. The tweet from CZ is from this year in 2025, but the video is from 1 year prior. Let's continue listening.
Because if that smart wallet wasn't autonomous, that would mean that some developer controlled it, or, company controlled it. So, if a developer controls the smart wallet, they can change the code, and they can change the code so it exports all your tokens, typically to their wallet or something like that, right? They can rug pull you or rob you or whatever. And that's obviously very bad. So the way to solve that is, is to create smart wallets where, the code can't be updated at all, or it's only, upgradable by a DAO or something like that. And so the wallets are autonomous, nobody controls it, there's no backdoors. And you can repeat that example again, across lots of things in Web3. And another example would be, you could imagine an internet computer AI smart contract that audits Solidity DeFi contracts on Ethereum. And if it sees that, there are no bugs, there are no backdoors or other security flaws, it kite marks them and says, hey, this Ethereum smart contract is safe to use.
Now, what I also find very interesting, by the way, this was at the very early stages of like the AI development within the internet computer ecosystem. So I'm sure if this interview was done today, Dominic would have a much clearer vision of what they have been creating and kind of how it's changed from a year ago, because it sounds very like rough, like they're still trying to figure things out. But remember, this was 1 year prior, right, when they started kind of releasing some of the ideas and features that they were going to be creating. But I want you guys to like really listen to what Dominic is saying. We've heard it through this whole just few minutes that we've heard from this interview so far. But I've heard nothing about we are in our own silo. We don't want connectivity. We don't want to talk about Ethereum. We don't want to talk about Bitcoin. We don't want to talk about Binance. What you literally hear him saying is, use the internet computer to help your chain succeed in these other areas of compliance or auditing or payments or whatever that your chain cannot handle. And this is very different than what we hear from most crypto ecosystems, right? Most ecosystems in crypto that we see, it's about what things can do for their project, what it can do for their coin. And they rarely, if ever, talk about other ecosystems or how it can help other ecosystems. It's just about their own blockchain. And what we've heard, and not only heard, but have seen from Internet Computer, is that they're building this technology to build the technology for anybody to use on any chain, chain agnostic, as they would call it. And I think that this is a huge feature of Internet Computer, the fact that they're building for the entire crypto ecosystem. They're building for the entire AI ecosystem. They're effectively building for the world. They're not building just for Internet Computer. And this is where we see a lot of these other ecosystems in crypto fail or not succeed because they fail to connect to other ecosystems. Why is Chainlink going to do so well? Because they're connecting everything, off-chain with on-chain, on-chain with off-chain, and they're going to have security features and regulations involved there. Where a lot of these other cryptos, like what does Dogecoin do? What does Binance Coin do? What does Solana Coin do? It does a lot for Solana, but doesn't do anything for any other ecosystem out there. And I think this is very smart for Internet Computer because at the end of the day, whether Binance uses Internet Computer or they don't use Internet Computer, they can. And Internet Computer will be well positioned for any ecosystem, whether it's Binance, whether it's Apple, whether it's Google, to utilize the infrastructure that they are building for decentralized compute, smart contracts, connectivity to multiple different chains, and so on. Let's continue listening to Dominic here.
But again, unless it's autonomous, how could you trust that kite mark? For example, if I personally ran that AI and I could update it, well, I could have it kite mark my own malicious Solidity smart contract on Ethereum to steal everyone's ether or something. So, the autonomy property is going to be very, very important within Web3.
All right, so that golden.
And I would agree, and it seems like that is what CZ is looking for. Now, whether internet computer is the solution or a piece of the solution or something that he's going to look into, I have no idea. There's a lot of rumors going around about this partnership with this crypto and this blockchain partner with this crypto. To me, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that they're building, that they're continuing to improve, and that we're seeing the growth within the internet computer ecosystem, which I've laid out extensively on this channel, that they are expanding the ecosystem, growing it. And I think that big things are to come. Not that I know it, but I mean, there's no other network like the internet computer. There's no other AI capabilities from a decentralized compute network like the internet computer. There's no other ecosystem that's going to be built out with dApps that are coded by large language models. So I'm betting on the future of this technology. I believe internet computer is, and I believe that these other ecosystems will come to internet computer because they already have. Fetch AI, also known as Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, and also Hedera have already both said and or are already using the internet computer, and many more will come in the future. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think that the rumor about Binance partnering with internet computer or utilizing the internet computer is going to come to fruition? Let me know down below in the comments, and while you're down there, don't forget to give the video a free thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss a new video. We upload every day of the year to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. See you guys in the next video. Invest responsibly, do your own research, and as always, crypto on.